6 p.m. Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Abdur Rafi Suhail. First, the headlines. National Assembly today unanimously passed two resolutions expressing unwavering support and solidarity with the armed forces and security agencies. A protest demonstration under the aegis of Pakistan Democratic Movement for supremacy of the Constitution and rule of law is underway in Islamabad. Information Minister has categorically stated that elections will take place in the country on completion of constitutional tenure of the assemblies. Pakistan and Korea have signed an agreement for deferment of payment of loans worth over $19 million. In Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, all parties Hurriyat Conference has called for strike on next Monday against hosting of G20 meeting in Srinagar. And in the fifth and last under-19 one-day international, Pakistan beat Bangladesh by 80 runs at Rajshahi today. And now the news in detail. The National Assembly today unanimously passed two resolutions expressing unwavering support and solidarity with the armed forces and security agencies. The two resolutions, moved by Sabir Kaimkhani and Wajiha Qamar, said they stand shoulder to shoulder with them. The House condemned unequivocally that acts of vandalism and burning of infrastructure following the arrest of Imran Khan. The resolutions voiced serious concerns and outrage over the negative impact of the violent acts on the socio-economic development, public welfare and stability of the country. Strongly condemning the acts on Jinnah House, the GHQ, memorials of the martyrs, historic buildings, mosques and schools, the resolutions recognized and appreciated the vital role played by the armed forces and security agencies in the upholding and sovereignty, safeguarding public order and ensuring the safety and security of the people. The resolutions called for swift and impartial investigation into these incidents and urged the government to take severe action against the perpetrators regardless of their affiliation or political background. The House also condemned the baseless allegations being leveled by a political party against defense institutions. Defense Minister Khwaja Asif has said a committee of the National Assembly should be constituted to review the conduct of the Chief Justice of Pakistan. Speaking in the National Assembly today, he said if the misconduct is proven, a reference should be filed against him before the Supreme Judicial Council, as per the Constitution. The Defense Minister said that a section of the judiciary is not doing justice but politics and is supporting a political group. Khwaja Asif emphasized that the time has come when the parliament asserts its powers and sends a strong message to defend its territory. The defense minister said a committee should also be formed to review the hundreds of thousands of cases pending before the courts. Minister for Planning and Development Ehsan Iqbal said the Supreme Court is the guardian of law and hence it should be independent and impartial. He said the conduct of a few judges is making the apex court controversial. Ehsan Iqbal said we consider the Supreme Court a sacred institution and we want to protect its impartiality and independence. He said Al-Qadir Trust is an open and shut case of 60 billion rupees corruption against PTI chairman Imran Khan. He regretted that former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif was disqualified in a fake case. In his remarks, Khalid Hussain Magsi said the recent violent acts damaged the image of Pakistan in the outside world. He said an investigation should be carried out in the excesses. Maulana Asad Mahmood said that PTI chairman Imran Khan was imposed on this country through rigged elections in 2018. He said we ousted him through a vote of no confidence in accordance with the constitution. He said we stand for supremacy of law and constitution and that the rights of the people of Pakistan will be protected by the parliament. Minister for Climate Change Shahir Rahman said the incidents of arson and vandalism over the arrest of Imran Khan were pre-planned. She said the PTI had hired certain elements to carry out violent acts in the country. She said the leaders of Pakistan's People's Party and PMLN were arrested in the PTI government but nobody took notice of them. She said the favours are only being provided to the PTI chairman and that too in corruption cases such as that of Al-Qadir Trust. Others who spoke on the occasion included Akhtar Mengal, Akbar Chitrali and Kaisar Ahmed Sheikh. The House has now been adjourned to meet again tomorrow at 11 a.m. A protest demonstration under the aegis of Pakistan Democratic Movement is underway in Islamabad today for the supremacy of the Constitution and rule of law. Caravans of different political parties, including PMLN, Pakistan's People's Party, and JUIF from across the country are reaching Islamabad to participate in the demonstration. Apart from the PDM chief Maulana Fazlur Rahman, PMLN Vice President Maryam Nawaz, PPP Chairman Bilawal Bhutto Zardari, and other leaders of the ruling alliance are expected to address the protest demonstration. Minister for Information and Broadcasting Maryam Aurangzeb has said that the elections will take place in the country on completion of constitutional tenure of the assemblies as per the law. In an interview with Al Jazeera, she said today's protest of the coalition government is against the constitutional violations taking place in the country. The Information Minister said PTI Chairman Imran Khan is a fascist and inciting violence in the country. Alluding to the recent ransacking and arson of public and private properties, including ambulances, metro bus stations, and hospitals, the Information Minister said the government acted prudently and exercised restraint. She said the government does not believe in political victimization. Political instability is because of Imran Khan's actions. Responding to a question about economic situation, the Information Minister said Pakistan is in safe hands. We have successfully dealt with economic challenges in the past. She said the government has the will and experience to lead the country on the path of economic development. This news bulletin comes to you from Radio Pakistan. The government today signed a debt service suspension agreement with Republic of Korea amounting to deferment of payment of loans worth $19.911 million under the G20 Debt Service Suspension Initiative framework. According to a press release issued by the Economic Affairs Division, this amount initially had to be repaid between July and December 2021, which will now be repaid over a period of 6 years in semi-annual installments. The total amount of debt that is to be suspended under the framework covering the period of repayment from May 2020 to December 21 stands at $3,686 million. Pakistan has already concluded and signed 104 agreements with 21 bilateral creditors for the deferment of its debt repayment under the G20 DSSI amounting to $3,633 million. In Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, All Parties Hurriyat Conference has called for a complete strike on 22nd of this month against hosting of G20 meeting by Modi-led fascist Indian government in Srinagar. The shutdown will be observed on both sides of the line of control, while anti-India protests and rallies will be held in all major capitals of the world against the proposed meeting of G20 countries in UN-designated disputed territory. At least 676 people have been killed due to the clashes between the Sudanese army and the Rapid Support Forces in Sudan so far. According to a report of the United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs, over 936,000 people have been newly displaced by the conflict since April 15th. United Nations also estimated that about one-third of Sudan's population will need humanitarian aid in 2023, and the figure is likely to increase as a result of the war. And now cricket. Pakistan Under-19's team won the fifth and last one-day international after beating Bangladesh by 80 runs at Rajshahi today. Batting first, Pakistan scored 244 runs for the loss of 8 wickets and allotted 50 overs. In reply, Bangladesh were all out at 164 runs in 36.3 overs. Pakistan Under-19s won 5 matches series by 4-1. And now the weather update. Mainly hot and dry weather is expected in most plain areas, while gusty winds are likely in afternoon during the next 12 hours. However, light rain wind thunderstorm is expected at isolated places in Upper Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Gilgit-Baltistan, Kashmir and its adjoining areas. And now the headlines once again. National Assembly today unanimously passed 2 resolutions expressing unwavering support and solidarity with the armed forces and security agencies. A protest demonstration under the aegis of Pakistan Democratic Movement for Supremacy of the Constitution and Rule of Law is underway in Islamabad. Information Minister has categorically stated that elections will take place in the country on completion of the constitutional tenure of the assemblies. Pakistan and Korea have signed an agreement for deferment of payment of loans worth over $19 million. In Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, All Parties Hurriyat Conference has called for strike on next Monday against hosting of G20 meeting in Srinagar. And in the fifth and last under-19 one-day international, Pakistan beat Bangladesh by 80 runs at Rajshahi today. And that is all for now. For more news and analyses, visit our website radio.gov.pk and also watch live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.